Hi there, welcome to our newest episode of Hangout with DFCC Credit Cards. As always, this series will focus on industry professionals to get their insight on what they think the current normal looks like in their respective industry and what we can expect moving forward. Hopefully, we'll be able to add some value into your life with their perspective. So, that being said, my guest this week is someone you all know and love, not just in Sri Lanka, but globally they've made a mark for themselves as well, taking the sounds of Sri Lanka into an international platform whenever possible. He is one half of the Bhati and Santhush duo, and he's also been in the industry for 20 plus years now. Here with me right now is Santhush Weeraman. Hi.
Hello.
Good day to you.
You too.
How have you been? How has this time been? How has 2020 been for you?
I know it should be, technically it should be quite slow because of all the stuff that's happening, but for some reason 2020 seems to be going quite fast.
Really? So fast as in terms of work or personal life or everything put together?
In terms of work, because I think the lockdown period, during those 3 months it was very slow.
Right.
Then I think last month or so, suddenly I think feel it's kind of fast again. Almost hitting August, right?
Yeah.
So,
absolutely, time goes by really fast. So did you always know that this is what you'd end up doing?
not really. When I was 6-7 years until I was around maybe 8-9, being a singer was something in my mind. I mean, I always liked to sing, and even with the family, if I go somewhere, my mom and dad would say, okay, Santhush, now sing a song, or some relations would say, sing a song. So that was I was growing in that environment. But when I was around 15-16. I really wanted to join the Sri Lanka Air Force.
Oh.
Right, so that was there. Then, but when I was 13 years, I won the All Island singing competition, Western classical singing. So then I joined Mary and David. I learned the Western classical. I learned Western classical music, as in opera, jazz. The entire line of it, which I really like. Right, hearts of hearts. I really like that music. And so with time, which just went by, and when I was 19, 20, things turned, and we did the album Vasante, and
the rest is history.
Because starting from 13 years onwards, music was heavily with me. So taking part in school stuff. Then I was the choir leader. And there were a lot of stuff involved with the Western Music Society or the secretary. So a lot of things that was happening. Definitely music was always a part.
Yeah.
But then when you're 15, 16, you have all these radical things you want, right?
Yeah.
So then things together, fate is such that we made a song, and then rest is history. And we're in this business.
Absolutely. So fast forward to 2020 from there. COVID hits, we have a lockdown, right? So when a lockdown happens, I think one of the some of the biggest industries that were affected by it were the tourism industry and the entertainment industry as well, massively. So during lockdown, did you all have a strategy? Did you all think about what you all wanted to do? Did you think about how you were going to continue entertaining your audience during that lockdown period?
I think during the lockdown period, one of the biggest industries that had a very negative impact, apart from all the other industries like tourism, leisure, all these things. But when entertainment was definitely one industry, right? And when there is a war in the country, again, that's the industry. But this is the first time where all the musicians, the composers, everyone, the lyricists, they all got together, and we realized that, the Sri Lankan government had not recognized this industry, the entertainment industry, as an industry. Right? So whatever incentives they were offering, right throughout the history, it has been like that, because we were under the cultural ministry. So then there was no economic impact that was analyzed. It was always a very cultural thing.
Yeah.
So then I think it was in 2020 that all the musicians everyone got together and thought, no, we need to structure this, portray this as an entertainment industry. It should fall under the Industry Act. So then we had, apart from the free shows that all the musicians did for the people of the country, this process was happening. We addressed the government and said that it is high time that the music industry, the entertainment industry, falls under the industry act.
Right.
And so this will create opportunities opportunities for the industry to interact with the rest of the global industry. Because when you go to the international market, the music industry, the labels and all these, the entire entertainment industry functions under the Ministry of Industries of their respective countries.
Yeah. But it hadn't at this point.
Then the copyright matters, all those things came up. So during the COVID times, all these things came up. I think so. Certain things happen for good,
Yeah.
So I think you can see restructuring with the music industry.
Wow.
So I think that will be really, really great. Even currently we are talking about copyrights and all these things. Yes, so there was a negative impact. There was a serious impact. There weren't any shows or anything like that. But people in the entertainment industry got time to think about what they do.
Yeah. And hopefully set a better sort of foundation for the future of music.
So in terms of qualitative thinking, yes, again, creatively, why do I make this song? Should I, certain subject materials, topics, all of us, thought. Same time, trying to understand the quantitative side of the industry. So I think there was space to think and discuss on those lines also. So when things happen, you have to always think of the positive thing. Yeah.
Absolutely. So with those structures now hopefully being put in place this year, what will the music industry look like in the future? 2 years from now, 3 years from now? Let's talk about that. We'll get into it right after this break.
A bank should be for everyone. Children, elders, youngsters, those looking for jobs, those with jobs, those in business, for you, for me, for all of us. From savings to current accounts, fixed deposits, credit cards, leasing, housing loans, DFCC Bank offers you a range of banking products. DFCC Bank, for everyone.
Hi there, welcome back to Hangout with DFCC Credit Cards. Today I'm talking to Santhush Weeraman about the music industry. So before the break you said, the music industry sort of got together during the lockdown period and tried to establish certain things when it comes to the music industry as an industry.
Structure, yeah.
Yes. So now, our normal is very different to what it was before February, January, right? So when it comes to the music industry and the entertainment industry, do you feel like people have moved into more innovative concepts of entertainment? Because we saw the first drive-in concert happen, we saw sort of ideas like that get bounced around and different events happening. How do you see the entertainment industry at the moment?
Well, I would say because of the COVID situation currently, there is a lot of uncertainty. And so I mean that will be there for some time. But what I would advise the people, the music industry and anyone else would be, when there is uncertainty, that means there is a problem. When there is a problem, that means there is opportunity. When there is a problem, you could either fall back or you could either think, okay, how am I going to solve this problem and move forward. So to solve that, yes, you need creativity. You need to think of different strategies. So I think it is the same with the music industry. If we wait till the normalcy happens, if we wait till the same kind of comfort zone, I doubt it will come back again, right? This will prevail for at least another couple of years. So we need to get used to it. So musicians or maybe any other party should understand other extensions, because at the end of the day, when we have a show, people come to watch the show. It is just a mode of distribution, right? We get on stage and we distribute our music physically there, but then there is a digital form. So can we have the same? Can we use that as a distribution channel? Then you need to innovate your product again. Then that's again creativity. So, can you innovate the structure of a song in a different way? Or maybe
a show.
Yeah, it can be a show. It can be all different things. So isn't that wonderful?
Yeah.
Right? Without doing the same boring show again and again, here you get to do different things. So the people who think different, they will survive. Right? And also I mean, if we succeed in those models, just imagine the market that's going to come. Here we are looking at 3,000 people or 1,000 people at a show. If this works out really nice, I mean really great for Sri Lanka, we'll be able to access the entire globe so easily. Right? So if we can get the copyrights, all those things sorted out, it's going to be really great.
Yeah.
So I think always think positive, think different, and if we have creatives, and plus having being Sri Lankan resources, being us, I think that is the biggest strength and the positive things we have, because no one has seen our flavor. So just imagine the possibilities. It's going to be great.
Absolutely. Do you think the general audience, the mass market that we refer to, are ready for a digital changeover?
Yes, I believe they are quite ready, because in terms of smartphones, I think there is quite good penetration. But the problem is, do we make the correct content to attract them? Do we make the correct content which benefits them, right? So, I mean, it's like this. I mean, I always tell Bharti also, this is a nice example we always talk. I mean, you go to a classroom, right? There are 30 boys, and majority of them, they play hockey. But 5 boys, they play cricket. You ask them, the prefect comes to class. It was like during back at school, cop would come and say, what are the sports you guys do? The 5 boys who play cricket, they are the guys who shout a lot. They say cricket. But the truth of it is, the entire class likes hockey. So it is important. I mean, if you even right now, if you take the web, the internet, right? When you come to Sri Lankan mass or whatever you call it, right? There is so much of gossip, so much of unnecessary stuff. We think that is what they like. No. Just that
They're just screaming louder.
Yeah, they are ready, right?
Yeah.
I think digitally they are ready, but in order to make it fruitful for them, for the people who create content, to take this whole digital process for the betterment of people, everyone, all the other stakeholders also need to understand what they need, what is good for them, right? So I think that is the problem. It is not the digital part. They are ready, but as a country, are we, giving good content?
Adding value.
Yeah, adding value to them, adding value to their lives. I think that is the most important thing.
Apart from sort of helping the structure of the music industry, what have you been doing in terms of music these days? Have you all been creating any new music, or has that sort of taken a back step?
I would say 50-50.
Okay.
I mean, currently there aren't any shows or anything like that, so we are kind of restructuring, thinking what to do with that, and trying to. We finished a drive-in concert that went off really great. So now we are thinking of either we should create more content. So we are working on some new songs and releasing some of the old songs also. So we are working on that. Same time, the way we have structured our entire group. BNS Productions, that is the place where we do all activities together with BNS. But then we have a few other companies also where we work together. All those companies are structured in the lines of entertainment, film production, advertising, events, to those kind of areas. So currently we are seeing if we can integrate these things together and see opportunity, and also there are a lot of companies who are looking for these creative ideas to get through, right? So those things are also in the card. So it's 50-50, yeah.
Right. Okay. So what's coming in the future? Let's talk about that. But right now we're going to take a break. We'll be back with Santhush Weeraman.
Every time you swipe your DFCC credit card, get 1% cash back into your account. Experience double the happiness with DFCC Credit Cards. DFCC Bank. Keep growing.
We're back with Santhush Weeraman. This is Hangout with DFCC Credit Cards. We've been talking about the entertainment industry during this time, post-COVID. So moving forward, you mentioned something before, which is that, you know, things aren't going to go back to normal anytime soon. We'll have to get used to a new normal in the next couple of years. Do you think that globally, if you take the music industry, do you feel like the entire industry itself will change?
Gradually, I think it will change. Now, when I mean that, what I meant was that, you know, things will settle.
Yeah.
Right. But certain things will be different. Right. So therefore, I think people, you know, say as a country, we shouldn't wait till things settle.
Right.
Right. That is the most important thing. Right. Whether it's going to settle, whether it might be the same, it might not. But important thing is we should not wait till it settles, right? You know, people who have savings, all those things, that is fine, you have to take care of that. But at the same time, you know, if you don't take a risk at this time and strike, if you don't be creative, if you don't think strategically, if you don't see opportunity at this time as a country, right, whatever industry, we lose the opportunity. Right, so whether it's music, it's the same thing, or whether it's agriculture, whether it's whatever you want to real estate, whatever, this is the time. Like for example, let's say tourism, right? The normal tourists are not, let's say the normal tourists are not coming to the country.
Yeah.
But then if you take countries like Bali, areas like co-working, right? So that's a concept where you get, there's a youngsters starting from around 18 to 30, 35. They make around $3,000 to $4,000 a month. But doing all software stuff. They don't go to office, you know, they are in their mother's garage or whatever, you know, they're making stuff.
Yeah.
So they make around $3,000 to $4,000, but it's not a big amount to live a good life in those countries because living expenses are high. But for them, if they come to countries like Bali, Sri Lanka, they could, you know, hire a villa for 6 months and have a great time, do their work, earn their money, and they go back to another country. So now this is a segment that we have not attracted for all this time. So it will be a nice time, you know, to go into that area. So see the opportunities, settle down, you know, look at the world, look at the opportunities. So I believe this is the time to strike. Now we should not just relax and wait, okay, things are really bad, we should, you know, no, that is not the thing. We have to really work hard. That's why I said, you know, after the lockdown period, it's been really busy because we are working 24/7, right? Of course, you need to, you know, take care of your resources, but at the same time, you have to be very proactive and, you know, think of the positive thing and, you know, look things, you know, see things forward.
Yeah.
So again, sorry, coming back to your music industry question.
Yes.
Yeah. So with regard to the music industry, definitely there will be changes. For example, I think new digital formats will come. Like for example, let's say 2-3 years ago TikTok came, right? That was the craze. Maybe 10 years ago FB came, you know, YouTube.
Yeah.
But YouTube took time, right? So different formats will come. Maybe there will be an event format. The entire world, you know, buys tickets, you know, everyone will have their gears on, certain things. So lots of different things. Definitely the business model or the product model or whatever, I mean the way we make songs, I think it will change. Also the duration of the songs, the lifetime of the song, all those things will change.
Yeah.
Right? So definitely there will be a lot. So the young generation understand those things. At the same time, don't forget the fact that you guys have the greatest treasure that no one has in the world. That is being Sri Lankan. The flavors of Sri Lanka has not been heard by the rest of the world. Now we've tried our level best to take it out, but there is a billion amount of people out there who's yet to hear that sound. You have heard the sound of Aboriginal music. You have heard the sound of, you know, pop,
like Jamaican,
hip-hop, Jamaican. You name everything, you have heard it. But have they heard the Sri Lankan drums, the Sri Lankan rhythms, the folk stuff? And you mix it. So we need to understand, apart from these new product innovations and all these changes in the world, we need to understand how to blend what we have and make a global product. So yes, we need to think local, but being local doesn't mean that we need to be very conventional. We could make a product being local, but that local product should be a global product. So that should be the future. So with this entire digitalization and the entire thing, be innovative, but understand that formula. Being Sri Lankan, get that essence. But whatever you create, whether it's a song or whether it's a product or whether it's a real estate or whatever, a service, whatever, try your level best to make it a global product. So then Sri Lankan, made in Sri Lanka becomes a very international thing. And that is being Sri Lankan.
Absolutely. I think that's good advice, regardless of whether they are in the entertainment industry or not, in a different industry even. It's the same thing, right? Whatever your product is, you can add that Sri Lankan flavor. So on a final note, what advice would you have to give to up and coming musicians? I'm sure this is a question you've answered a million times, but has your advice changed now, post-COVID?
I would say the same thing. I think if you're budding to be a musician, right? I mean, are you asking with regard to music or anything else?
Yes.
With regard to music, I would say it's the same thing, right? First of all, you need to love what you're doing. If you want to enter the music industry, enter for the love of art. Music is an expression, right? You see something, you feel something, and then you want to express that. So the mode the musician chooses is music, right? If it's an artist, they'll express, whatever sad, whatever, what you feel about the country, what you feel about society, love, all those things. So musician is a person who would express that. So you need to love music, right? And then understand what you have inside, right? If you don't understand yourself, you would never make original music. Right? So you need to understand the sound. You need to respect yourself. You need to understand the creative that is coming. So you need to give that space. During that time, some people will come and say, no, that is not nice. So take constructive criticism. But at the end of the day, give that space for yourself. Explore yourself.
It's yours.
Understand. Yeah, it is you. It is your expression that is coming out. Right? So then afterward, yes, try to model it right? Trying to bring, you being a Sri Lankan, that is one of the greatest assets you have to, create a competitive edge with the rest of the world. Because the rest of the world will have all technology, creatives to the talent, everything the rest of the world will have. Yeah. Only thing they wouldn't have is the Sri Lankan flavor. And that spice, that flavor is our competitive advantage. So put that also, but put it correctly. And then if you want to take it forward to different countries, to different segments within the country, outside, package it in a way that your people will understand. If you want to send something to China, have that ingredient where Chinese people will also understand. Otherwise it will be too Sri Lankan for them, and they won't create a connection. Right? So some of the other markets, some of the local people will not agree with you at that time because it sounds too Chinese. But for the Chinese person, it will sound very Sri Lankan. Yeah. Right? Say for the British person or for the Indian person, it will sound very Sri Lankan, even though predominantly there is more Hindi in it. But at the end of the day, after you create that whole creative thing, you're trying to take it out of the country. Right? So all these things. But most important is, I think, to be proud to be Sri Lankan. You have to really love what you have and believe in yourself. Go forward.
I think the average messaging today can be that, hold on to your Sri Lankan flavor, right?
Very much.
Absolutely. So Santhush, thank you so much for talking to us. It's been a pleasure talking to you and also understanding the music industry through your eyes. So thank you so much for taking the time to be here today.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks so much. So for those of you who've been watching us and this conversation so far, DFCC Credit Cards is giving you the opportunity to win 10,000 rupees cash for 3 people, right? So here's what you have to do. You have to answer this question. What is the minimum gross income required to obtain a DFCC Gold credit card? The question again is, what is the minimum gross income required to obtain a DFCC Gold credit card? If you know the answer, send us a message to the DFCC Facebook page with your NIC number, your name and your contact details, and you could be one of the 3 lucky winners to win 10,000 rupees cash each, courtesy of DFCC Credit Card. That being said, we will sign off for today with the promise of meeting you in another episode with yet another personality that you love and adore. I've been Sasha Karnaratna. This is Santhush Weeraman. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Have a great day.